y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome you all back to the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2021. Oh my gosh, we have been in this for more than 2 weeks now, and we are just hitting our stride. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. So today's tangle is going to be an oldie but a goodie. It is called Sand Swirl, and it is by Karry Huen. And it is wonderful, simple, and starts very much like we did yesterday. So I'm going to make a fun border again today, like I did yesterday, and try to remember to keep that dark enough for you guys to see it. I never have trouble with my dots on the crazy borders, only on the straight ones. I wonder why that is. All right, so what do I want to do? I think I want to loop, of course, because that makes me happy. And then I'm just going to dip down there and touch that loop. Then I think I'll put a bigger one in there. And then over here, I think I'll leave this one mostly normal, but not too normal. So I've got some fun little spaces in here, and then I'm going to come through and divide this down the middle and go behind my little, let me see if I can, and I'll go behind my little loops, okay? It looks strange, but it's going to work for me. You may divide your tile however you like. I'm just basically putting an X through mine and drawing that behind the loops, okay? All right, that is all we're going to need today. I am working on a gray toned tile today. That is an original Zentangle tile. Well, not an original. Well, it is. Okay, don't start with me. And so I am using a gray tone tile today, and I'm going to be drawing, I think I will use my Micron PN maybe. I might change my mind, but I think that's, actually I did change my mind. I want to use my 01 in black today. I'm just thinking about the tangle and what its needs might be. So I'm going to pick one of these sections, and I think I'm going to start over here in this one, and I think that'll give me the best opportunities to show you guys this tangle. And so I want you to, let me see. So what I want you to do is go around the area that you've chosen to start with, and I want you to make these little stems that are slightly curved and ink in the end. And you could do that with fescue, but I think this is going to work really well for what we're doing. So we're going to start with these little curved stalks with a blacked in head on them. And I'm going to put these going both directions, randomly, put them wherever I want. Yes, I'm going to say it again today, willy-nilly. And I'm going to take my time. And let's see. They can be long or short. Doesn't matter. Okay? So when you have a few put in, then pick whichever one you want to start with. And it's going to be, whichever one you start with is going to be the one that looks like it's sitting on top. So I think what I'm going to do is start right here with this one. And I'm going to draw an aura. I'm going to begin that aura right here under the head. And I'm going to come down the side. Sorry for changing directions. And make this kind of an aura, okay? Then I'm going to make another one. Guess what? This is the entire tangle. The fun comes from the overlapping Pushing out is apparently going to be my way today. Now, I'm coming up here on this other stalk. So I'm going to want at least one of these auras on this one before I overlap it. And then I'm going to draw this one behind. Okay. Now I can add more to this, but if I do, this is going to look woven in there, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can definitely do that. Okay, and I was wrong about this one sitting on top, wasn't I? Depending on the order that you do these in, it's going to make a difference. So I'm going to come over here now and leave that there for now. And I'm going to aura this one. It's coming around that backstroke where I have my issues. Now this one is also going to be drawn behind. And you can't see what I'm doing here because I've got the wrong camera angle today. Let's turn this way and maybe that'll be better. And I think I'll put another one here. All right. So now I'm going to leave this single stalk right there. I'm going to come over here and do this one. Now, anytime I come up to my penciled line, I'm going to stop drawing and lift my pen. All right. So now you have a couple of these stuck in here. What do we do now? Well, we're going to draw in some more, and they're all going to be tucked in behind these central ones we did here. So I think I'm going to put one and again, you can put these wherever, pointing in whatever direction you want. You can also add as many auras or as few as you want. If you only want one or two, then that's good enough. And now we're seeing the overlapping, okay? So when you get here and you've got enough there to make you happy, then stick in another one. Let's see. They don't have to be the same size. Some can be bigger and some can be smaller. Not going to fit much on this one, but that's okay. Now, when you have these instances where you're almost done, but you've got a little more space, and you feel like you've got all the auras you want, but you still need to fill this space in, I'm just going to continue my aura lines down. Even though that's not strictly part of the pattern, it's still going to be fine. All right, let's do... That one got outside a little bit, but it's going to be all right. And then if you want to ink any little tiny holes you've got, go for it. All right. Feel free to add little lines anywhere you want to make this happen the way you want it to look. So in very much the way garlic cloves was done yesterday, this one is done starting with a group of random elements and then expanding out from there, and leaving you with the opportunities to do it as you will. Your goal is to make these dense and overlap them as much as possible. And just realize when you draw this, when you draw your stems in, that you probably won't be able to fit very much in there, and that's okay. We need the idea of what's happening, right? And not the actual event, if that makes sense. I just stuck a little orb in there. I guess that's fine. I can do what I want. And so can you. So let's see. I'm going to go this way. Switch up your directions a lot. That will give lots more interest in there. Now I'm going to hollaball one of these stems. I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to find out. And so I'm just going to use this one to fill in all my little holes here in the middle. If I've got a little bit of a sliver here and there, I'm going to go ahead and ink that. So if you can't see it, just pretend it's there. Like that, okay? All right, so this is sand swirl. Yeah, it does look like swirling sand, doesn't it? So now what do I want to do? Well, I definitely want to put some in over here so that this section looks like it continues underneath this hole. A little less smacking, baby.
What?
Said a little less smacking, please.
I'm not smacking.
Well, since I have you on video smacking, pretty sure I can prove it. See how simple that is to fill? right? So there you are. Now, da, 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 da. I think I'm going to put it in a diamond pattern, so continuing on this wedge over here. And then we'll see where we're at for this other area, okay? And again, you can make these as big or as small as you want. So I'm going to show you guys my new t-shirt design. I've already got it up on Teespring. I haven't gotten the notification from YouTube that the merchandise shelf is available to me yet, but as soon as they initiate it, then I will have some merchandise to show you. And the shirts are really pretty, I think. Hopefully you guys will like them. Mari woke up sick this morning with a sore throat and stuffy nose. So I'm trying to get him to drink as much water as possible. And sometimes all you need is a hint. And I'm doing it again, aren't I? Sorry, guys. It's hard for me to keep my stroke straight this angle, and so I forget and shift things around, don't I? Oh. And very much like garlic cloves, these don't have to be perfect. When we get done with the shading, this is another pattern that thrives on the shading. It's already cool. Well, all right. I'm not going to let any mistakes or wiggly lines stop me from enjoying my tangling and my focus on each line. If it doesn't come out the way I want, Oh well, we're gonna move on. You guys liked that quote yesterday, didn't you? I did. Thought that was very timely, and the funny part is it wasn't even on a recent video. That comment showed up on I don't remember which video now. I'll have to look, but it showed up the very day we were talking, the day of that we were talking about beauty and perfection, and why those two don't go hand in hand. An artist who seeks perfection in everything finds it in nothing. I like it. Here. All right. Let me stick a few more over here. Or at least two. Or one big one. Just like that. All right. Now, this is where I'm at. Let me switch this light up a little bit. See if I can get a better... That's just too dark, isn't it? See if I can get that a little bit better. Anyway. All right. So now... it is my intention to leave some negative space, meaning to leave a section blank. And I think that this is going to be the section that I leave blank. The problem with that is that I got this big honking loop over here. So here I have a choice. I could ink this line and make it a permanent part. I can ignore what I said I was going to do and put another tangle in here. I'm going to have the exact same issue over here. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do in here is the Tangle Jonquil. It is sort of an op art tangle. It's an original Zentangle tangle. And so I'm going to ink a line here where my string is. Whoops. Since I can't see that anymore. Well, that's an opportunity, isn't it? We are going to take a stand on this one. All right, now, then I am going to make a wonky grid on this, okay? All of my grid lines are going to end here, but they're going to sort of fan out as if this were a vanishing point, okay? So what I mean is like this. Now your lines don't have to be perfect, and of course I'm going to draw behind my big freaking loop. So these will necessarily be larger towards the edge. Of course, that is not what I imagined or got with this one, but it's going to be all right. So the next step for this one is to make a zigzagged line. Okay, so this would be here, 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 so I can't see the rest of that, okay? So we're gonna mount Aura this line. River, what are you doing, Missy? Simba, get out from under my tripod, dude. You are making the work take longer, bud. Okay. And then now this one we can see. This is going to go back up. Now, these don't have to be the angles perfect and all of that. This is going to work regardless. Either way, I think. I hope. I am always living in hope for this thing. All right, so I'm going to continue aura-ing here and matching my angle lines. Coming up, Simba. Come on. Come on, Mom. Mom is waiting on you. And all the people are waiting on you. So come on. Here. All right, apparently he's not coming up. He just wants to be coaxed. All right. And they will necessarily get smaller as you go. All right. Thank you, Sam. We do appreciate your company. Let's try to hold still, bud. Now, how squishy do I want to be up here? Not that squishy. Now I know what square to start in when I ink, don't I? Okay, so I think one more should do it here. And now we're going to check this or ink every other one. So if you want to use your PN for this, that's probably going to save you some time. At some point I may change. I'm still okay. Settle, buddy. And when we add shading on this one as well, that's going to be cool. See if I can do this without making a mess, which probably the answer to that is no. We're going to keep trying, though. So the kiddo's got the sniffles in there. That's why you hear that. Probably gonna hear my stomach yelling too. I gotta stop doing these before lunch. Yeah, I gotta get this done. We got parent-teacher conference today. You know, parents should get snow days too. Just saying. There's Shimba. That's how he sleeps. Chin on my feet. He's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch my pen now for sure. These angles over here are really weird, and I'm not sure there's anything I can do about that, and so I'm not going to worry about them. Whatever happens, it's going to be okay. Again, I'm just barely touching down here. That's how your ink is going to flow the very best. If you go over it in opposite directions a couple of times, that's going to help fill your area faster. All right. This is definitely going to add a lot of interest. Like I said, shadowing or shading this is really a lot of fun. And even though you can hear the pen scraping across the paper, I'm really using barely any pressure at all. All right. Let your paper draw the ink out of your pen. Don't try to force it into the tooth. Not bad. Did you have your ramen, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. Poor sick baby. All right. This one. So I've been hearing from some of you guys that live in the area that I live in, from Kansas and I think Colorado, definitely Texas and New Mexico, where maybe not New Mexico, where you guys are having the same kind of problems with the rolling blackouts and all the other issues that we are struggling with right now, because we are just not prepared for this kind of cold here. You know, we have exposed a lot of weaknesses this year in our power system and that we use here in Oklahoma. And so let me look up here and see. Bless you, baby.
What?
Said bless you.
Thank you.
So, yeah. I think I'm going to leave that the way it is. Otherwise, it's just more confusing. Okay. Now let me turn my tile around and look at this side over here. Okay. So over here, I'm kind of thinking of having some fun with this little edge here. I'm sort of thinking about having something organic coming maybe out of here. Bye, Simba. We enjoyed having you today. So I'm trying to think what I want to do there. What I think I'm going to do, before I do it, I want to make sure this is what I really want to do. I think I'm just going to draw a line around here all the way and ink this border line. And then I think I want to put an inner aura on here. And then I think I want to have some fescue. And I'm going to have some of it come up and go behind. And I think I'll also add some orbs, just maybe not too many, we'll see. I think I'll pack them kind of densely down here and then maybe have some floating out. You know I like my floating tipple. So I'll just have a few down here at the bottom that are sort of gathered up in bunches. And then we'll have our little escaping tipple here. Okay, I think this is where I want to stop today, at least for the ink work. I think real quickly I'm going to stick my chop over here before we shade. All right, now, okay, I like this, and I think shading is going to do a good job for us. So let's get out our tortillons and see about this. One other thing I think maybe I might want to do, at least on a few of these, is emphasize my stem line with my PN a little bit thicker. Because we're going to be shading as if these are overlapping each other. And I think a little bit of a thicker line there is going to help that look. So I think I'm just going to add that wherever I think the emphasis might help me. And I'm not going to do them all, just some of these, especially these that are in the foreground. And I think I'm definitely going to do this all the way around. All right, not sure that was necessary, but there you are. Okay. Simba, you are embarrassing me in front of the people, dude. Really? Oh, that's not you, is it? It's River. Sorry, dude, don't look at me like that. I made a mistake. Tell her to be quiet. She's embarrassing me in front of the people. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, pretty good. Well, really didn't want to emphasize that much. What's up, Sim? What you got to share with the people today? We know you're awesome. You want to say hi to your puppy friends? I'm getting more and more pictures of puppies. They're so cute. And kitties. I'm trying to think who had the... Oh, they look like they're some sort of poodle. Oh, they're so cute. Beautiful. Big dogs, but pretty. Trying to think who that was that sent me that picture. This is the danger with me, guys. All right, now let's get our pencils out and do some shading. All right, so instead of my graphite pencil today, I think I'm going to try this cool gray 70% Verithin. And oh, he needs to be sharp. Ooh, yeah. All right. And so we're going to put our color right along the inside. I can get it to cover there, of this stem line. Yeah. And yeah, and so every one is going to be shaded in this area, right? Along the stem line and over anything it happens to overlap. Yeah. Now for some, that's going to make them busy, and for others, or have a lot of color, and for others, they'll be like this one, which is pretty much on top of everything. So all the way around your elements, when they overlap everything else, if you want to set those up to come out on top, or to look like they're on top, and they absolutely will. If you're not getting the effect, whoa, Simba. If you're not getting the effect that you're looking for, you might try a little darker. Just keep in mind, if you're shading with colored pencil like I am, these don't erase as well as graphite, so something to consider. So anywhere on these elements where the lines are perpendicular to each other, like in this instance, you're always going to shade on the line on the side with the mini lines and not on the straight side. If that makes sense. So on this side and not this side. Just trying to fade it out a little bit, and I will blend it with my tortillon, but it's better if you can do it yourself. Okay. So this is another example of a very, very simple pattern that has a really dynamic, fun result. I needed something a little less stressful with all the snow and everything. So I just chose a couple of patterns that would be relaxing and less stressful. I know I've got some of you that are moving, and some of you that are trapped inside, and some of you that are out of pocket. And so just, you know, if you are running behind, don't fret. There's no such thing as behind on this. You might not be doing them the very day that everyone else is, but that doesn't mean you still can't do them. And so there's no police coming to your house to check in on you and make sure you've done today's tangle. I'm still going to love you either way. So don't apologize. Just do your best. You'll get to them when you get to them. I think it's awesome that people are doing these after the fact. And I watched something on YouTube today that was very cool and gave me a very fun idea for something that we can do once the 100 days project is over. I don't know if I want to try something like that in the middle of it. It's going to be work intensive. It has to do with making a cover for a journal out of a paper bag, shopping bag. And the tangling implications for that type of a thing astounded me. And so I got some really fun ideas from there, and I'm trying to think of a way that we can translate that to something tangle related, and I'm sure, of course, that we can. And I mean, if you're using brown paper bags, Renaissance. So, you know, how bad an idea can that be? And you know, when you were in school, when we used to wad paper up over and over until it got really soft like cloth. I used to love to do that. It just amazed me. Well, it's kind of something along that line. And I'll have to put the link to the video I was watching to those of you that are into journaling. It was really cool. I think the YouTube channel's name is The Paper Crafter, maybe. And I really enjoyed it. And it immediately made me go, ooh, you know what? We could tangle on those and then do that, treat them that way. And we would have something really spectacular if we wanted to do journal making or something like that. Now, I don't sew anymore. And so I couldn't do the adding the paper on the inside, but we can sure as heck make a cover. Some of you that are putting your tangles in binders in like a photo album type of a situation, that is a great idea. Then you can thumb back through all of the art that you did over the 100 Days project later. And that's it can be very inspirational. Oh, I remember when I did that. Let's try that again, or whatever it is. Or, oh, I didn't like that tangle. Let's not do that, or whatever you might have in your heart, you know, it's going to be okay. So, yeah, I loved that idea. And I thought, what a great lesson if we can figure out how to incorporate that into tangling, which, of course, I can. So if you guys really want to get started early, you can grab a brown paper sack and, you know, cut the edges off and get some nice flat surfaces and start tangling. All right. So, on Jonquil, I'm going to shade the white on one side of each of these zigs. So this one. Not sure how well I did these as far as looking cool, but it'll work. Shading this one should help a little bit. All right, let's blend. You can see the blending works somewhat. with the Verathins. And just smooth out whatever pencil you've got. Remember to use the side of your tortillon. That is going to make it much easier for you to grab that graphite. It will also not push down the end of your tortillon if you do that. And that's good. You don't want that to happen. By the way, if the tip of your tortillon does get pushed in, just grab a paper clip and unwind it and stick it up in there, and voila, you're good to go again. Remember, it's just rolled paper. This is one reason I prefer some paper stumps, because they're sturdier and the ends don't collapse in. But, you know, to each his own. I'm not going to tell anybody what they're doing is wrong. I don't have that right. All right. Well, this doesn't have to be a lot to make it effective. Now, my question is, I'm just pulling off any stray graphite I want somewhere else. And over here, I think I'm going to, along this edge and this one, I'm going to run extra color on the upside or on the sand swirl side. And that should pop this off the page. There. Let's put a little more over here. Where'd it go? All right, and let's try not to get too creative, Cindy, but let's put just a little bit of shading on this one side here, on the inside. There. All right. And I could, if I wanted, ink this black. I could stripe it. I could check it. Same difference in this case. Yeah, so could be whatever. And I think, let's see if I blend this just a tiny bit, if it'll look more part of the composition than like a stray line. Which it's not. I intend for it to stay there. Now that's an interesting tile, I think. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy this? Okay, I found another place I want to add, which is right along here, and really puff this part up and help this transition between edges. I thought it would be fun today to mix it up on a tile and sort of explore some of the possibilities for mixing tangles and what you might do with your free space. And these are all things that I'm constantly looking at in my art, and so thought we might try that together today. Isn't this fun? I really like how it turned out, and you, of course, can do yours whatever way you want. However that works, it's going to be cool. Whichever way you want up, also cool. I kind of like it like this. All right, guys, this is where I'm going to leave you today. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you all also for expressing concern for Mari and the dogs and I over the last few days. We appreciate your love and appreciation so very much. So y'all also stay safe and warm, okay? And I'm going to see you tomorrow.